Dream team for the final round of the Six Nations. There was some interesting games. It's been a very hard one to pick because how do you pick from that England and Scotland game when it was such a game of two halves? I don't know. I've made 15 choices. As always, you guys can let me know your thoughts when I'm done, who else missed out, and there are definitely a few important guys to miss out. I usually write the names on these magnets, stick them up on the board to save me writing in front of you guys, but do you think I can find them today? Apart from that one, there's like 20 of the damn things. Nowhere to be seen. I'm going to blame my kids, but it's probably my fault. Start with some props. I have gone with, from Wales, I've gone with Rob Evans. His stats don't really do him justice for all the work he got around. 4 runs, 6 metres, 2 from 2 tackles. I think the main thing you look at with him is up against Doug Furlong. He managed to come out for pretty much with flying colours and deny the Irish one of their main kind of strike weapons in the scrum. No penalties conceded, so plus all that work he does around the breakdown, clearing out and stuff, which doesn't get kind of picked up in stats. I think he was putting in a very tidy shift for Wales and helped them in that clinical performance of theirs. Next, and I've gone from England, Kyle Sinclair, and he's been on my board a fair bit this Six Nations. I guess a ball handling prop is always going to look better in some regards. He had 29 metres from 8 runs, including 1 clean break and 1 defender beaten. Forget who he ran into. Ran into somebody, one of the backs. Was it Maitland? And yeah, he wasn't moving. He was just going straight like a locomotive. 4 passes, 5 out of 7 tackles, even managed a line-out steal. Likewise, no penalties conceded. He went off just kind of 45-50 minutes, and England looked better when he was on, to be fair. So, yep, another good performance from him. Hooker, and this is one of the ones where there were multiple guys who did good jobs, but I've kind of gone with my heart instead of my head. I've gone with McAnally. This is why I don't like to write in front of you guys. McAnally from Scotland. He didn't have a perfect game. George also had a very good game. Owens had a very good game, probably statistically more well-rounded. But it's that try. I mean, 64 metres from 4 runs. A try pretty much from his own half from a number 2. When Scotland really needed some points, that was perhaps a game-changing moment. 2 defenders beaten, 1 clean break. What a clean break it was. 1 try, 2 passes, 1 offload. 11 out of 15 tackles is an area that I would normally be like, missing 4 tackles is not ideal. Line out was, I think, 3 from 5. So again, kind of core skills missing. Like Owens was probably more rounded there. I think George missed 3 tackles. So kind of similar territory, but he had 100% at the line out. So it was a mixed bag. I've gone with my heart. What a try. I've gone with Stuart McAnally. Next, locks, and I have gone with James Ryan. Of all the Irish players, he's probably the only one that could even get close to the team of the week. He had 13 runs and 19 metres. It is that work rate that I do like about him. I do rate players that do that kind of thing. 10 from 10 tackles, 1 pass. Also managed the line-out steal. His 19 metres was the most metres gained by any forward in that Wales-Ireland game. So for an Ireland team not doing that well, he was trying his best to push the team forward. So when some other guys weren't standing up, he was certainly trying his best. And his locking partner, I have gone with Alan Wynne-Jones. My pen's running out of ink as well, just to be helpful. I do need to buy a new whiteboard marker. Alan Wynne-Jones, proper masterclass from this guy. He had 11 metres from 7 runs, and 11 metres actually in that game was not too shabby. 2 defenders beaten, 3 passes, but get this, he had 19 out of 19 tackles. Not even 1 missed. If you can hear shouting outside, it's my neighbour looking for her cat. There it is. Into the back rows, I've gone with Navidi, also from Wales. He had a pretty barnstorming game. He had 5 metres from 4 runs, Again, no one was making all that many run meters in this game, so there aren't many outstanding candidates there. But still managed to beat a defender, had 2 passes. If you thought 19 out of 19 tackles was good, try 21 out of 21 for Navidi. Very, very impressive. That guy's had a proper good Six Nations. Also managed a turnover. He did concede 2 penalties, but I suppose when you're in the thick of it that much, it is bound to happen at some point. Another Lucy, I have gone with Magnus Bradbury from Scotland. He had... Now, the Scotland game was less about kind of high tackle rate, no meters, and more about low tackle rate, lots of meters. And this guy, I mean, not a low tackle rate, 13 out of 16 is still a proper effort. You don't want to miss 3, but when you make 13, still very solid. He managed to try. He had a defender beaten, a clean break, 2 passes, 18 runs. How many meters do you think he made? 71 meters for a number 8. Very, very impressive stuff from Mr. Bradbury. And my final pick in the back row was one I kind of agonized about, but I ended up with going for the Curry. Curry from England, Tom Curry. He was very much one of the first half players, as most of the England guys were, but he was very, very good in that first half. Faded a bit, I suppose, in the second half, as did a lot of guys, but 10 runs, 24 meters, 3 defenders beaten, 2 clean breaks, 7 passes, a try, 10 from 12 tackles, and a turnover. He was pretty much doing everything he has been. This pick is probably partially because he's had a really good Six Nations as well. He did also concede 2 penalties, which is, I suppose, not ideal, but when you're a number 7, it kind of comes with the territory to see how much you can get away with. Scrum half, I went with, and this was another hard one, Tibaldi from the Italy and France game. So Tibaldi from Italy. He scored the only try for the Italians. They came close a few times, but he was the only one who managed to try. He had 10 runs, 21 meters, and 4 defenders beaten. That's pretty good for a number 9. Managed the clean break. I don't know if that's his try, because it wasn't much of a clean break. If it was one, he pretty much just dotted it over the line. 3 offloads as well, 7 out of 10 tackles. 7 out of 10 tackles is probably better for a 9 than it is for a 7. But yeah, it's still acceptable. Maybe not all coaches would say that, but I'm not a coach, so there you go. And yeah, that try that he did, it was like a nice little dummy, totally filled the pillar at the ruck, and yeah, managed to get over the line. So good on him. Next, fly half, I have gone with Russell from Scotland. Again, game of 2 halves, so I'm looking more at his second half performance than his first, but that's the way of things. It was quite a second half. 10 runs, 59 meters, a clean break, a try assist, 7 out of 11 tackles. Again, you look at a number 10 and go, yeah, he can't tackle. 7 out of 11, I'll give him a pass. Also managed a turnover, so he was pretty gutted that Scotland couldn't get it done in the end, but helped on that way to leading a proper good comeback. So yeah, a bit of credit for him there. Into the midfield, I have gone with, and I promise it's not because he's New Zealand born, I have gone with Hadley Parkes, who I've picked a few times in my dream team. He's been impressive this Six Nations, hasn't he? 7 runs for 7 meters. Again, in this game, a meter a run is actually fairly decent. Managed the only try for Wales for that game, so impressive. He read it really well, a little chip through. A clean break, which was probably the try. 7 from 7 tackles, including that one where he got Stockdale. Stockdale was gone for all money, and somehow Parkes managed to close that gap, so very good on him for that, and also managed a turnover amongst all that, so very reliable, as was his midfield partner. But I have gone with, from England, I've gone with Slade as the other guy in the midfield. He had some pretty good numbers, again in a much more open game. 12 runs for 100 meters, so 10 meters per run was more like the average in that England-Scotland game. 2 defenders beaten, 5 clean breaks. 5 is just huge. 12 passes, including an offload, managed 2 try assists. Again, 7 out of 10 tackles, and it was there were gaps in that second half for England, that's for sure, and Scotland were able to exploit that, but overall, you'd say he still had pretty good numbers. Into the outside backs, I know he's a right winger. I think he played right wing in that game. But I have gone with Pinot from France. There's a bin coming up my driveway. Welcome, bin neighbour. Thanks for the timing. So Pinot had 5 runs for 98 metres. Now that's a massive return when you're looking at that. Huge. A try assist, 4 defenders beaten, 2 clean breaks. I know you say it's only against Italy, but man, the guy was proper good. 3 passes, 11 out of 13 tackles, including a try saver on Zanon when he was just gleefully going to touch the ball down. Pinot comes through, swings his arm under to tackle him and just knocks the ball loose. No try, so saved 7 points there. Next, I have gone with, and I'm running out of space, I've put Gareth Anscombe here because he played most of the game at fullback, even if he started at number 10 for Wales. Instrumental in their victory is pretty much the only way to put it. 5 runs, 14 metres, good numbers in that game. 1 defender beaten, 2 passes, including a try assist, which was actually a kick rather than a pass. But his boot, man, the guy got 20 points. So he was just booting everything, and some of those kicks were pretty tough, long. I remember when he was at the Blues, he was never Mr. Reliable, pretty reliable in that game. Real key player for them. And lastly, I have gone with Darcy Graham from Scotland. He had a very good game as well, didn't he? He's come pretty good. 7 runs for 40 metres, decent return, 2 defenders beaten, 2 clean breaks, 2 tries, a man full of 2s. Only the 1 pass though. 6 out of 9 tackles. Again, everybody in that game missed tackles because look at the scoreline. Also managed to turn over, so he was class, showed a bit of magic in that game as well. I mean, all the England back 3 pretty much had 100 plus run meters, so I could have picked all of them. A lot of them were negative or very close to 50-50 in their tackle counts, so not much of a game for defence. A lot of those Wales and Ireland guys had really good defensive numbers, but not much in the way of run meters because it was just that kind of game. But yes, that's the team. I'm sorry you had to sit through me writing through the whole team. It's a pity I couldn't find those magnets. I will endeavour to locate those sometime shortly. But yes, that's my team. For more Welsh than anybody else. I didn't actually count, but an Irishman there, a Frenchman, an Italian, and then a mix of England, Scotland, and a fair few Welsh, like I said. So, yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on the team. Definitely other guys that could have been in here as well. But yeah, that's the team, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.